Watch until the end for a very important announcement. Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm Aldrich Vox, and during this TV Universe hiatus that's sure to drive us all bonkers, many fans are wondering what awaits the future of the series, while the next major conflict and antagonist continue to lurk in the shadows, waiting for Cartoon Network to pull back the curtains. Future character arcs and fusions are already right under our nose. You guys may recall not too long ago we covered an interview Rebecca Sugar did with Cartoon Network Brazil's YouTube channel, which addressed the possibility of Steven fusing with both Lars and Lion, ultimately chalking it up to the story needing a reason for them to fuse rather than it happening for the sake of fan service. Yet, wouldn't that be the case for any fusion? They've all had a reason for existing in the series up until now, although she did immediately dismiss the notion of Steven and Lion fusing as something not in the cards. However, when it came to the concept of Peridot and Lapis fusing, Sugar gave a more concise and elaborate answer on the circumstances surrounding the two and correlation with a hypothetical fusion. Can we cut to a clip?
Lapis and Peridot have a lot of personal growth to do before they're ready for something like that, especially after what Lapis has been through. Give them some time, you guys.
Alright, so despite how brief Sugar breezed all over this, she actually provided a lot of substance that has even more context post Change Your Mind. Instead of ruling out the two fusing, saying it's not on the cards or that it needs a reason to happen in the story, Sugar has more or less given us the blueprints that will lead up to this fusion, stating Peridot and Lapis need personal growth before they can leap right into the wonderful world of fusion, especially after what they endured through their journey with Steven, the biggest emphasis being put on Lapis. I think this proves to the audience that Lapis returning back to Earth and dropping the barn on Blue Diamond was not enough to rectify their relationship and heal both their wounds. In fact, it seems that their involvement in both Reunited and Change Your Mind was just the beginning of a healthier Lapis and Peridot. Now that the barn is destroyed and they have nowhere else to live but the temple, with Steven and the Crystal Gems, they're going to be forced to confront their issues head on. We all know how Steven Universe operates. Steven is always ready and willing to help his friends face their problems. I think this was highlighted the most in season 3, and is one of the factors as to why it's my favorite season of the series thus far. Steven helps Pearl and Greg make amends and resolve the lingering issues left by Rose Quartz. He tried to advance Lars and Tay's relationship while occupying his body. He ceased a feud between the Pizza and Fryman family, aided Jenny in putting an end to her chronic nightmares, assisted Lapis in reacquainting her with water, and helped Amethyst find resolution in her issues with being an overcooked court soldier. While a lot of these problems were sprung onto Steven, the issues of the core gems were picked up on by everyone living under the same roof for years, getting to know them and what makes them tick, such as the case with Amethyst. Even if Jasper brought out her insecurities to the center of attention, Steven already suspected she struggled with body image due to episodes such as Reformed. With Peridot and Lapis residing with the gang, Steven will be able to observe them up close and notice how different the two behave when compared to the past. From there, he could orchestrate a private intervention to reignite their spark. I think we were all a little disappointed when Lapis made her triumphant entrance in Reunited, only for her reunion with Peridot to be glossed over and cut short, especially after having multiple episodes to shed light on Peridot's crippling loneliness after Lapis's departure. So I'm optimistic that this was done with a purpose of having a proper storyline in season 6. But how would this exactly go down and accumulate in a Lapidot fusion? Well, it'd be a storyline that doesn't focus on just Peridot and Lapis. Change Your Mind's resolution brought no character back into the fray of everything. The big buff Cheeto Puff Jasper. Of course, one of my favorite characters. But put her in a room with Lapis and it's nothing but yikes, yikes, and yikes. However, Jasper's return may be integral to Lapis and Peridot truly conquering their issues and progressing in life, something that could put the show in a very controversial spot considering the nature of Lapis and Jasper's relationship. Malachite was a very toxic, unstable fusion where both components took advantage of and tormented each other for a prolonged period of time, deterring Lapis from the act of fusion entirely, while Jasper walked away from the experience with a dependency issue, relying on fusion to feel strong, crawling back to Lapis, unable to rationalize why she would refuse such power, and then forcing herself onto a corrupted gem in a moment of desperation. We all know how that turned out. Peridot, on the other hand, is very intimidated by the practice for a variety of reasons. I once speculated Peridot could be representative of asexuality, capable of possessing romantic feelings but has no innate desire for sexual activity. Fusion has been an allegory for physical intimacy before in the series, so this seemed to check out. However, Sugar's reasoning in this latest interview doesn't seem to take such concept into consideration. Thus, I think Peridot Peridot's hesitation to fuse may present a problem for insecurities. Peridot boasts about being the best, regarding herself of high status. At face value, she's the perfect poster child of self-love and positivity, so why wouldn't she fuse with the crystal gems? It's not like she's in the mindset of, it'd be an honor to fuse with the great and lovable Peridot, an honor these clods haven't quite earned yet. Instead, she's just kind of flabbergasted and nervous. I've mentioned this before, but as much as I love Peridot's self-confidence, she definitely needs to be humbled. For the sake of the climax's atmosphere, I wasn't exactly demanding a cautious Peridot and change her mind, as she was absolutely demolished by Yellow Diamond in her previous appearance, but going forward, there should be some sort of long-term consequence to that confrontation. Fusion would be a great way to humble Peridot, while also addressing any insecurity she hides with her rambunctious demeanor. Among all of Lapis's issues, Fusion for her would be becoming comfortable with the idea she's no longer going to hurt anyone by doing such a thing. A fusion that brings her love instead of pain, that makes her feel good without taking her anger and frustration out on someone. Malachite, who might have been her first and only fusion, brought upon so much misery that of course it's going to leave a bad taste in her mouth. It wasn't some unpleasant hookup, this was Lapis vulnerable and taking control of a horrible situation no matter the cost. But now that she's out of it, it's pretty clear the cause was something high, a piece of her. For Jasper, this is where things can get pretty complicated, yet why I believe they wanted her back before doing anything with Peridot and Lapis fusing with anyone. You may have noticed Steven was ready and willing to treat Jasper with hospitality once she emerged uncorrupted, but Amethyst quickly takes charge and greets her. This tells us that both of them prefer Jasper as an ally, a friend, rather than an enemy. Neither of them hold any ill will towards her, but unfortunately, I'm sure they both are aware the same won't be said for the rest of the team. Above all else, Lapis and Peridot. Going off of Steven's track record, that sets him up going in and arranging the former homeworld trio to come back together and set things straight. Will Lapis actually forgive Jasper? I don't think so. Absolutely not. Giving it time won't exactly help either. That's what Steven will learn from all this. Not everyone can make amends, and time won't make everything better. However, through this confrontation, both Peridot and Lapis may learn more about themselves, and along the way, be more comfortable for a fusion. If Lapis were to actually give closure on Malachite, move forward from all of it, being able to at least be in the same room as Jasper should she become a crystal gem, then I can totally see them going for a fusion. As for Jasper, we don't really know if she's still hung up on Lapis or not, but this would allow her to move on, even if Lapis isn't down for being friends. You can't have an arc redeeming Jasper without shedding light on Lapis, and you really can't focus on Lapis anymore as a character without addressing the elephant-sized quartz in the room. They go together hand in hand, which is why I firmly believe they will be integral into Lapis and Peridot taking a leap of faith in fusing, although that in itself may stem from whatever major conflict comes next in the series, but play off of what would be established from Jasper. Before we sign off, I have to let you guys know this amazing fusion between Peridot and Lapis was created by the awesome Gem Crust. You can find all of their breathtaking art on Tumblr. Seriously, Creativerse, please hire them. And I'll link their Tumblr in the description below. However, what do you guys think? Do you want to see a Lapis and Peridot fusion, or is that something you're not necessarily down for? Do you believe Jasper could play a role in all this? Let us know in the comments below, or tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids. And for my own hot takes, you can find me at Vox. We're also on Instagram. Help the Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of the channel or supporting us on Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable so you never miss any of that great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. Vox, out. Welcome back to the Roundtable. We're three hosts who love animation, discussing, reviewing, theorizing, and breaking it all down. For nearly 3 years, we've had the grand pleasure of doing this as our job. We've even made a ton of friends and got sweet offers along the way.
However, in those 3 years, we've gotten more ambitious. There's a fire raging in our hearts to go above and beyond with what we do, but there's just one problem.
Our equipment isn't the best, and our team is small. Very small.
That's right. The Roundtable is composed of us three, editor Josh, social media manager Will, and on the gaming side of things, Will helps edit while we have a writer, Chance. That's a small crew of people who strive to put out a video every single day, sometimes more than twice a day. But we don't want to adjust or cut back. We want to be dedicated.
We all edit off of our laptops, and yeah, every host here edits practically all of our own videos, while Josh helps get additional content out. It's time consuming and cuts our productivity in half. It's hard to create more content when we have to pick and choose a few out of the dozen topics we come up with each week. Cartoon news can't even be as long as we want it to be due to time constraints and the power of our computers.
When it comes to our gaming channel, we barely have an hour to spare on a weekly basis to really work on it without falling behind.
That's why we need your help. We're using Patreon, channel memberships, and our Teespring store to fundraise the Roundtable brand's future. Please consider making a one-time donation. We'll be using any money raised to go towards hiring another editor or two for the main channel, a production assistant, and better equipment, such as cameras and computers. Over on the gaming channel side of things, we'd love to get our host or two alongside an editor just for that channel. Have it be its own thing with its own life that all of us pop up on as well. We'd even love to use our third channel, Roundtable IRL, for vlogs, bring back the podcast, skits, and so much more. Content that's all personality. We'd love to get more involved in the animation industry, fly out and interview people, and become a reputable news source.
Believe it or not, this would help us out in a major way for the long run, giving us more time to create longer, more polished content. Not just the same old theories and news, although yes, those are sticking around. And creative content that we're proud of and will make you guys laugh.
But content aside, what's in it for you over on our channel memberships and Patreon?
Great question. We want both services to offer a little bit of something new, but channel memberships will give you access to exclusive updates, polls to vote on future topics, a nice little Roundtable badge next to your name that evolves the longer you're a member, and the occasional sneak peeks. Over on Patreon, you'll still get updates and sneak peeks, but admittedly, you get a bit more the higher you pledge.
We're talking scripts, access to our avatars, a Patreon exclusive Discord that will be loaded up with everything that goes into our content, where we get our footage, what software and plugins we use, what equipment, the whole shebang. Pledging our highest tier will even bring you a shout out on the channel, where you can plug anything you made. Your channel, your videos, art, webcomics, writing, it can be shouted out right before the video.
Now we know our audience tends to skew towards the younger side, and regardless of age, financial problems are a thing. So don't feel obligated to give us anything if it hurts you as a result. Liking and sharing this video and our message is more than enough.
On that note, we're honestly not going into this expecting to succeed. We'll do our best to make the content we want and the content you want to see if things don't work out. But we figure it wouldn't hurt to try either. Nothing to lose. We're excited for our future, and we hope you are too. Have an awesome day, and we'll see you all later. Bye!
Bye.